everybody. This is our third video in the Great Battles of History series. And what we're going to do here is we're going to look at simple GBOH. What simple GBOH is it's a way to play most of these titles, not all of them, but most of the Great Battles of History titles using one rule book. That's right, one rule book to rule them all. That's the concept here. Now, first of all, let me explain why that would even be necessary. First of all, in SPQR, you have a rule set that is very, very similar to Alexander, but it is a little different. There are some very subtle differences, yet important differences. So if you have Alexander and you have SPQR, you can usually keep track of those differences. But then you move on to Lion of the North, it is a completely different system altogether, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Caesar, again, very similar to SPQR and to Alexander. So Caesar's got a lot of similarities, but the command rules have some nuances that are very different. It introduces some new concepts in command and control, and there's a few subtle differences in shot combat. So Caesar kind of changed things up a little bit, and then you move on to Samurai. Samurai's got a completely different system altogether. The command system for Samurai and Ran are very different. You come over to Conquest of Gaul. It takes approach very similar to Caesar, but slightly different once again. So you can see, by the time you get all the way to Conquest of Gaul, and you've gone through the battles of Alexander, by the time you come back to the sixth title here, your head's going to be spinning trying to keep the individual rule sets and the nuances between them straight. And we won't even talk about Cataphract and Devil's Horseman, Chandragupta, and Chariots of Fire. All of them have slight differences. So how do you play all of these games here without knowing all of the nuances between all of these rule sets? Well, here is where simple GBOH comes in. What simple GBOH does is it provides you one set of rules that is simpler. It is not simplistic at all. Okay, it's actually a very good combat system, very good command system. It's a great way to play Ancients, but it's a different approach, and it provides one rule set, one set of charts to handle most of these games. Now, there's some games that will not work with simple GBOH, and so just to cover those, it's going to be Lion of the North. Samurai will not work with it. Obviously, War Galley is a different system altogether. Alexander, Caesar and Alexandria is going to be a little bit different, so it won't work with that. It will work with Devil's Horseman. It will not work with Alesia, and it will not work with Ran. So all of the others, it will work with Alexander, SPQR, both of the Caesars, Gaul, and the Civil Wars. It will work with Cataphract, Devil's Horseman, Chandragupta, and Chariots of Fire. Now, what do you get with simple GBOH? Well, first of all, this is a standalone product. So if you want to play Alexander with simple GBOH, you need to buy Alexander and you need to buy simple GBOH. So you buy this, and here's what you get. You get the simple GBOH rules. You get the universal simple GBOH charts, which handle everything that you'll need for the series. And then you get the simple GBOH playbook. Now, what this does is it takes the early titles of the system, from Alexander up through Cataphract, and it gives you all of the battle information that you'll need to convert the battles into a simple GBOH format. So every single one of those battles is in here. Now, what about the titles after Cataphract? Well, with Devil's Horseman onwards, the simple rules are actually, and the necessary means you need to convert the battles to simple GBOH is included within the package. So you don't need anything extra with this beyond the simple GBOH rulebook. All of the battle information is in the playbook here. Same thing with Chandragupta, Chariots of Fire. So you get with simple GBOH, you get the playbook, which will take all of the Caesar battles, the Alexander, SPQR battles, and it'll show you how to play those using the simple GBOH rule set. By the way, this rule set here, very easy to understand, very easy to comprehend. It's 15 pages in length. It's illustrated. Obviously, I've marked mine a little bit. Very, very little errata with it. Couple notes I've had to put in there, but it's very easy. I mean, you can read through the whole thing in an hour. You'll be up and playing in no time. So that is a simple GBOH rule set. Now there is another product here called the Battle Manual. Now here's what this does. C3I Magazine has produced a lot of scenarios, especially for SPQR. There's also a bunch of battles for Alexander, but most of them seem to be for SPQR. A lot of battles from that. But how do you take those battles and convert them into simple GBOH? Well, a lot of those battles that came out in C3I before simple GBOH, you simply couldn't play them with simple GBOH? Well, here's what the battle manual does. It takes all of those C3I battles and it converts them into a format where so you can play it using simple Great Battles of History. There's actually 55 battles that have been converted from the back issues of C3I. So if you have those old issues and you want to play those battles with the simple GBOH rules, you can do that with this set. This set also comes with another resource that is invaluable. I don't have it out here to show to you because it's actually in Plano trays, but it actually comes with a counter sheet that has the necessary counters that you would need to play all of those old C3I battles. So if you were able to find perhaps I know Roger sometimes puts up the back issues that are out of print. He'll put up the articles, and so you can get a PDF file of some of those old articles that had expansion battles in them. But what do you do when you need the extra counters? Well, this guy right here has the counters that you're going to need. So this is actually, even if you don't want to play simple GBOH, this is actually a pretty good resource just to get that counter sheet. If you missed an issue here or there, or lost the counters for the insert or whatnot, this thing will have just about all of the counters you're going to need for the back issues. I think it goes back through C3I 13. I think that's where the cutoff was. But the more recent, I should say, issues of C3I, they actually have the simple GBOH conversion as a part of the insert or article. So we'll talk about how to play simple GBOH in our next video. What we'll do is we're going to set up the Heronia battle from Great Battles of Alexander. It's going to pit the army of Philip of Macedon against the allies in the south. You have the army of Thebes and Athenians, and it's just a really cool phalanx on hoplite battle. Looks really neat on the map, and we'll look at how the simple GBOH system works in our next video.